Hello. I hope you are doing well tonight. And hopefully my kids in the kitchen aren't too loud this evening. Okay. Grab my meditation cushion. So I will just sit here for just a minute. So this is a movement and meditation class. So we will move and then end with some meditation. And as we go through our class today, something that's been coming up for me is just a lot of restless energy. Like I just have had a hard time letting my brain calm down, and I just want to let you know that this is pretty normal. It happens, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh, I've got this figured out, I'm good at this thing. And our lives, our bodies and our brains move in cycles. And so this practice will start with a lot of movement just to kind of get energy moving through our bodies. And then we'll just sit with a meditation where we'll talk about what to do when your mind just won't settle. Is there any point in meditating when it feels like you're just always doing it wrong? That's kind of what we'll work with today. But always the first step to getting present is to get out of our heads and into our bodies. So I have a strap just sitting over there by my mat so that at the end we can stretch using the strap. That's the only prop I've got. We are just going to flow in a steady rhythm for the first 40 minutes or so, and then we will sit and meditate for the end. So make sure you have props for that. And if you'd prefer that your guided meditation be laying down, make sure you have the props that you like to use for a laying down meditation. I just have my clock on, so I have an idea of what time it is, and we will start standing. I'm still a little chilly, so I'm just going to leave my sweater on for a few breaths, but just kind of get yourself settled in your feet and feel your feet on the floor. You can lift all 5 of your toes and then settle those down and lift your heels. Maybe even rock back, lift your toes and the balls of your feet. Just rocking back and forth on your feet. And then you can settle that down. And just drop your chin into your chest and feel the top of your upper back start to stretch. Just rock one ear to the shoulder, rock the other ear to the other shoulder. Drop your chin to the center and then just turn your chin to one shoulder. Drop to center and turn your chin to the other shoulder. And then drop to center. And one vertebrae at a time, just start to roll yourself down to a standing forward fold. Let your knees soften and let this be pretty slow as you roll yourself down. Let your pelvis full blast. Let your knees be soft and just let yourself hang And then let your pelvis come upright first. Stack your lower vertebrae, your middle vertebrae. And let your head come up very last. And just start to lean from side to side. Just let your hand trace along the side of your thigh. Let's go back and forth a couple of times. After we've done 2 on each side, just reach your arms high. And let your shoulders creep up by your ears, reach longer through that right side. And then reach longer through your left side. And then reach both arms high. And then draw your elbows towards your rib cage. Draw your shoulder blades together. Engage through your glutes. Lift up through your lower belly and let yourself find a little tiny baby back bend. Reach your arms high, come back upright. Drop your hands along your sides and find that roll down with your spine again. Tuck your chin into your chest and just roll one vertebrae at a time. Just roll, roll, roll. One vertebrae at a time. So let it be slow as you articulate your spine down. Soften through your knees. Let yourself come down. Pause at the bottom and just let yourself hang. And then with those softened knees, use that hamstring strength. Kind of feel like they're the cables on a set of blinds as you pull down on the backs of your legs to bring your sitting bones down, lift your pelvis upright. And then one vertebrae at a time. Stack yourself up. And then we'll find those side bends again. And this time you can even start to bend your knee and maybe even let your hand reach down further. And so as you come to one side, you can bend that knee and really find that C-shaped curve through your spine. Sweep your arms high. And reach up, find that big reach longer through your right arm, longer through your left arm. And then draw your elbows in towards your rib cage. Find a little back bend here. Look up toward the ceiling. Really draw those shoulder blades toward each other. Inhale, reach high. One last time, we'll find that roll down. You can go maybe a little bit faster, but keep that articulation just one vertebrae at a time. Soft knees, let yourself hang at the bottom. You can maybe even sway from side to side. And just see if you can feel that pulley system of those strings, your hamstrings pulling down to bring your pelvis upright. And then those vertebrae stack. Come all the way up to standing. And then you can bend through your right knee and let yourself fold down and maybe even lift the opposite arm. Come back up. One more time on each side. Reach those arms high. Reach them both high. Really think about lifting your arms as high as you can and think of lifting from your back, your back body as you reach your arms high. And then engage that back body as you draw your elbows towards your rib cage, zip up your lower belly, and find a baby back bend here. And then reach your arms high. Soften through your knees, and then come halfway forward. Find a long spine this time without that roll down, and reach your arms forward. See if you can really send your sitting bones back and reach your arms straight forward. And then exhale, hands come to the floor. Step your left foot back into a lunge and bring your left knee down. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, straighten this front leg and just let yourself bow, let your hands come back by your hips. And then inhale to reach forward. Exhale, straighten and bow, hands back. Inhale forward. Exhale, straighten and bow. Inhale forward. Exhale, let your hands come to the floor. And then just step yourself back into a table. Rock your palms and your thumbs up off the floor. Lower them down. And a few times, just find that palm raise. Strengthening through your forearms. And then turn your right fingers out to the right. Just find that stretch through your wrist. And then switch sides. Turn those left fingers back out to the left and then back towards your knee. And then release. Draw your shoulder blades together and then push the floor away. So we're just moving shoulder blades. We'll do that 2 or 3 times. And then try circles. And try to keep your spine pretty still. Let your shoulders move independently of your rib cage and your spine. And then release that effort. Just lengthen your right leg back behind you. Push through that heel and find some circles of that ankle. Around the other way. Lengthen it back. And then release that knee down, left leg reaches long. And find those circles. So giving some love to those extremities. And then lift that leg straight back. Try to keep your spine pretty neutral. Lift those low ribs in. And then release down. Push yourself back into a child's pose. And then slide yourself forward onto your belly. Let your fingertips go wide, wider than your mat, about chest height. Come onto your fingertips, draw your shoulder blades together, and then just lift yourself up into a cobra and wave yourself down. Just let yourself find a wave here. And one more. Just connect your movement with your breath. And plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Make your way back up through table. And find a downward facing dog. Just pedal it out there. Start to check in with bearing weight in your arms. Find some stillness with your lower body, and you can keep your knees soft. Lift your sitting bones up toward the ceiling a little more, and then feel like you're pointing your sitting bones towards your heels. So just a little bit of movement in your pelvis here in your downward facing dog. And notice how that feels in your belly and your spine. Lift those sitting bones up. Push the floor away with your hands. Draw those low ribs in. And come onto your tippy toes, look forward. Bend into your knees and take a walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees, roll yourself up. Stack one vertebrae at a time. Reach your arms high. Keep them up alongside your ears. Send your sitting bones back. Find this crease right here in your hips as you come halfway forward. And just pause with your spine parallel to the floor, really reaching out through your arms. And think about reaching from your back body. And then exhale to fold. Right foot steps back. Right knee down. Inhale yourself up. Just reach high. And pause to settle here. And take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, hands just come back by your hips and lift, straighten that back. Your left leg. And then inhale. You can always pad that right knee here if you need to. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands down. Make your way to your table. And lengthen your right leg straight back. Lift that heel up and find level hips. Bend that right knee and then bring that right knee out to the side. Up towards your right armpit, into your chest, heel toward the ceiling. 2 times in that direction. Knee out to the side, towards your armpit, to chest, heel to ceiling. And now, knee to chest, out toward your armpit, out toward the side, heel to ceiling. Knee to chest, out toward the side, heel to ceiling. And bring that knee down. Left leg reaches straight back. And bend through that knee. Knee out to the side. Knee in toward your armpit. Chest. Heel to ceiling. Out to the side. Knee in toward your armpit. Chest. Heel to ceiling. And then switch. Knee in. Out to the side. Heel to ceiling. Knee in. Out to the side. Heel to ceiling. And release. Push yourself back into your child's pose. And then slide forward onto your belly. Tent those fingertips wide. Really push down into the tops of your feet. Draw those shoulder blades in. So remember when we were pulling those elbows in toward our rib cage, find that feeling here while you're down on your belly. And then lift your chest and wave yourself down. Stay active through your legs. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. hands underneath your shoulders. Make your way through table, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Finally ready to take my sweater off. Push the floor away. And see if you can explore some movement in your shoulders there. So if you can really push into the floor and shrug your shoulder blades up toward your ears, and then let them move away. So we do this in table. See if you can just play with that motion in your shoulders with this different load, this different relationship with gravity. And then push the floor away. Find that place that feels the most useful and stable for you. Inhale onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend into your knees. Take your walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale to reach high and stay here. Soften your knees, send those sitting bones back to come halfway forward. Really reach, lengthen out through your sitting bones, lengthen out through your fingertips. Take one more breath in. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, left foot back into a lunge. Exhale that left knee down. This time keep your fingertips framing that front foot. And exhale to straighten that right leg. Inhale, rock forward. Now if this feels like too much, you can bring your hands up on blocks, or you can have your hands on your thigh, or just do what we did that first time around. Just explore that range of motion through both of your legs and your hips, your knees, ankles. Next time your leg gets straight, walk your hands back in a place that honors your spine. Just externally rotate and internally rotate that leg there. So your knee and toes just stay pointing the same direction. You're just pivoting here, right in your hip joint. Nice. Come back to center, bend through that knee. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And now we're just going to rotate that left heel down and come up into a goddess squat. So facing the long edge of your mat. And just sit here. See if you can stack your shoulders over your hips and really energetically push your knees out. And see if you can find that lifting of all 10 of your toes here. And then grounding your toes. Now push down into your big toes and see if you can just lift your 4 small toes. And then switch. Push into those 4 small toes, lift your big toes. And switch. Do that a couple of times. And then we'll just make our way to a low lunge on the other side. So turn to your left, pivot on those right toes and ground that right heel. And just find your rocks here, forward and back. Let's bend into that knee and then straighten that leg. and then internal and external rotation. So it's kind of like you're windshield wipering with that foot, and your knee and your toes are staying in the same direction. You're just moving that ball and socket joint of your hip in your pelvis, in and out. And then find that center place. Bend into your knee, plant your hands, and now step back either into a table or a plank. And pause. Feel strong here. Feel like you're dragging your hands back and your feet forward. And then pull the floor towards you to come all the way down. And tent your fingers out wide. Find those 3 waves of your spine. And find that feeling of really pulling those elbows down to engage your back body. And plant your hands, tuck your toes, go up through table. You can go straight into plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath here. And just feel your awareness just sink into your body. Inhale into your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Step up. 2. Now it's the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale to reach high. Keep your arms high, soften your knees. Bend here, send, really feel like you're sending your bum back as you reach your arms straight forward. Breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time, inhale, right foot back into your lunge. Exhale, right knee down. And just a few rounds of bending and straightening that left leg. Your hands go where you need them to go. One more. And then we'll bend into that knee, tuck those back toes, lift that back knee. Just ground your right heel and come up into that goddess squat. Stack your shoulders over your hips and really feel like you're widening your knees out. Just bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Lengthen your left arm. And then we'll swim over to the other side. Left arm grounded, right arm over. And just go back and forth. One more time to each side. And then come to center, and we'll pivot to that low lunge to the right. Left knee down, hands frame that front foot, and just bend and straighten that knee. Really let your movement connect with your breath in a way that feels grounding and natural for you. Next time your knee bends, plant your hands. Inhale yourself back to table or plank. Pause there. And feel that strength. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Rock yourself onto your tippy toes. Pull the floor towards you. And fingertips wide. And find your cobra with those wide fingertips. 1, 2. One more round of that. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and come into table or straight into plank. Make your way to your downward facing dog. And sway your hips from side to side. And shake your head no, nod your head yes. Inhale onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale to soften into your knees. Walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. So we'll make our way back and forth one more time. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold halfway. So soft knees, so you can have a long, straight spine. Take a breath in. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift foot back. And you have a choice. You can keep that left knee lifted this time, or you can have it grounded. And we'll straighten and bend that right knee. You just listen what feels good in your spine. Now, if this feels like a lot on your lower back, you can always have your hands up on blocks. Just bending and straightening here. Go ahead and bend into that knee. We'll ground through the left heel and make our way to that goddess squat. And this time you can kind of find some leverage of your arms onto your thighs. Push your right arm into your inner thigh and drop your shoulder. Come back to center and switch. Back to center and switch. Back to center. Drop that shoulder in. And then come on up. I'm going to pivot to our lunge on the other side. Lift that right heel, ground your left heel. Your right knee can be up or down. Bend into your knee. Straighten your left leg. And just let this feel good. This just be a way to move energy through your body. And to kind of comb through the restlessness. Get all the mumbled jumbled things realigned. Bend into that knee, plant your hands, table or plank. Find your strength there. Rock onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower down, maybe pause halfway, and then come all the way to the floor. This time, keep your hands alongside the widest part of your chest. Draw those elbows in. And as you inhale, lift your head and chest, lift both legs. Open them as wide as your mat. Draw them together, and then lower everything back down. Inhale, lift. Widen your legs. Bring them back together. And lower. And last time, roll those shoulders back. Lift. Open your legs. Draw them back together. Lower. Up through table. Or push straight into a plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. Just one more breath here. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing. Reach high. Exhale. Hands to your heart. Sorry, I've got hair all tangled in my microphone. Inhale, reach high. Soft knees, send your sitting bones back. Just come halfway down. Take another breath in. Lengthen from your fingertips out through your sitting bones. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Right foot back into your lunge. Keep that knee up or down. And we'll just bend and straighten into that left leg. Next time your knee bends, we'll ground that right heel. Make our way into our goddess squat. Come on up. Open your arms up into a cactus. And then soften those low ribs down. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Widen your knees. And then right elbow under left. And give yourself some eagle arms. And then unwind your arms back out into cactus. You can straighten your legs for a second if you need to. And then left elbow under right. Just settle your shoulders away from your ears, elbows, shoulder height. And then release your arms. Find that lunge to the other side. Fingers to the floor, left back knee up or down. Straighten that right leg and bend. Straighten and bend. One more time, straighten and bend. And then plant into your hands. Our last time for table or plank. And then lower all the way to the floor. Keep your hands where they are. Push into your pubic bone. Lift from the back of your head. Lift your head and chest with both legs. Open legs as wide as your mat. Bring them back together and lower down. Inhale, lift everything. Widen your legs. Bring them back together and lower down. Last time. Lift. Legs open and close and lower. Tuck your toes. Make your way through table or plank. And come to your last downward facing dog. Or child's pose here. Explore it with any movements that you need. And then we'll bring our knees to the floor. Cross your ankles underneath you. Find a seat. Take your legs out in front of you and scoot your bum to the middle. Hold on to the backs of your legs or let your arms float. We'll roll down onto our backs. So let your pelvis roll down first. You can hold onto your legs. See if you can roll one vertebrae at a time. Let yourself settle. And just let your pelvis rock from side to side. Kind of think of taking your knees in kind of a pedaling motion, like you're pushing your right knee forward as you're drawing your left knee back. And then switch. And those knees are kind of drawing a little bit of a circle. So you can think about your pelvis on the mat underneath you drawing a figure 8. Just find that movement there of your pelvis. And then find stillness. We'll take about 3 breaths in a bridge pose. Just draw your shoulder blades together, push into your feet, lift your hips. And send your sitting bones the same direction as your knees. Let there be space behind your back, moving the back of your neck. The shoulders are on the floor. Maybe wiggle your shoulder blades closer together and interlace your fingers underneath you. Just 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then lower down. If you like to use a strap for hamstring stretch, Supta Padangustasana, go ahead and loop your strap around the ball of your right foot. If you don't have a strap, just grab onto the back of your thigh or calf. Find the natural curves of your spine. And then lengthen that left leg on the floor. Just breathe. We've done lots of lengthening of our hamstrings through this practice. See if you can enjoy your spine here. And then bring ball straps into your right hand. Turn those right toes slightly out to the right. Keep this left hip grounded. You can open your right leg out to the left. Out to the right. Got my rights and lefts really mixed up today. And then back to center. We'll just switch this strap into the other hand. Let your right arm go out. And then you can drop this right leg over to the left and find a twist. And your foot does not need to come all the way to the floor. You can even bend into that knee if that feels better for your spine. Work on keeping that right shoulder grounded. And then come back up to center. Release that strap. We'll just switch sides. Right foot to the floor. Loop your strap around your left foot. And find that little bit of space underneath your lower back. If you can maintain that little space under your lower back and keep the back of your pelvis on the floor, lengthen your right leg down. Ball straps into your left hand. Turn those left toes slightly to the left. Keep that right hip grounded as you open your left leg out to the left. This is one of my favorite things. I feel like a day isn't complete without Supta Padangustasana. Come back up through center, which is just, Supta means on your back, laying down, and Padangustasana means hand to foot, or hand to toe. I'm going to find our twist. So you can let that left leg come out to the right. Try to keep that left shoulder grounded. You can bend into your left knee. And back up to center. And release your strap. Just tuck both knees into your chest. I also feel like no day is complete without a happy baby pose. You just grab your outer feet, rock from side to side. And release that, and we'll make our way up to our seat, or make your way to a comfortable shavasana. So you can prop yourself up. You want to be laying down with something underneath your knees. Fold a blanket underneath your knees. You could have a folded blanket or pillow underneath your head. Not all is helpful. I'm going to move to my cushion for meditation. Let me grab my pulse. But just make your way to the place where you are going to settle, whether that's on your back or whether that's in a seat. And if you need to put socks back on or put a sweater back on, you can do all those things that you need to. And just let yourself arrive. You can have your eyes opened or closed. Sometimes practicing meditation with eyes open is good training for us to keep that still meditative space, even amidst the doingness in the rest of our life. But just do whatever it is that you need to do to settle. Get your wiggles out, adjust your body, find your seat, arrange your feet. And when we go through periods of restlessness, when it feels difficult to let our minds settle, often, I know what I find with myself in my own practices, that there gets to be some judgment and frustration. That I am doing this wrong. Or why can't I do this? Why is my mind so busy? Why doesn't this get easier? I should have this figured out by now. I've been doing this for so long and I still can't get my mind to settle. There must be something wrong with me. But that negativity, like we can't bludgeon ourselves into presence. We can't judge ourselves into growth. It's just not the fertile soil that growth can happen in. That negative, judgmental energy, and it actually exacerbates the restlessness, right? It creates more stress and anxiety and a need to prove ourselves, right? Because it's often, I know with me, it's that kind of imposter syndrome. That who do I think I am? That I even could be a teacher? That I can't even get myself to do this? Right? But the practice is in the remembering. The practice and the joy and the beauty of it is in the noticing, right? It is the noticing. Wow, my mind is busy because I have a human brain, and that's okay. And when we can approach it with that open curiosity, then we have the space to settle. Judgment creates this contracted, it just creates this contracted energy that gets smaller and smaller and tighter and tighter. And that there's no freedom there. There's no room to grow. And there's no place to find space. It's that open curiosity and realizing that the noticing, the remembering, that's our awareness. That's our true self. So I invite you just to really find your breath and a single pointed focus on your breath in and on your breath out. And let every faculty of your mind, let your vision be on that breath. And see if you can feel the resonance of that breath in your body. Can you feel it in the back of your rib cage? Can you feel it in the base of your pelvis? Can you feel it in your arms and your hands? And can you feel it in your legs and your feet? Can you sense it with your hearing? Can you feel the temperature of it as you breathe in? Can you breathe out? Just bring all of your senses to that one pointed focus on your breath. And really let your awareness drop down into that resonance of your breath and your heart space. And notice if there's any chatter in your thinking mind. And without saying that it's wrong or bad, just find some joy in the fact that you noticed. If you get carried away in that thought stream, those discursive thoughts that rehash your day or start making plans or narrate something. Just find some joy in that ability to remember, oh, in this moment, I'm paying attention to my breath. And then you come back to that one pointed focus. The resonance and the temperature and the movement of breathing in and breathing out. These last couple of minutes, let go of the grasp on your breath. Let your awareness expand. Just notice how far it can extend. That present awareness that is you. You, the noticer. Right, and remembering that observer, that noticer, that open awareness, that is the practice. And a restless mind is not doing it wrong. It's just giving you more opportunity to keep remembering. Good work, friends. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you were fed by that practice. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Have a lovely night.